Good morning, Patrick, coming here to you again live from Complete Health. And I just wanted to jump on and talk about something super important this month that I've been seeing a lot, which is do not suffer in silence and don't necessarily take the first opinion of any professional as a solid. So I've had a few clients coming in this month who have seen a practitioner, they've seen a doctor, or they've seen a different professional, and they've been told that there's nothing there or nothing can be seen. And one particular incident stands out more than anyone because this gentleman had come to see me and he'd been to the doctors, he'd been to A&E because his levels of discomfort were so high that he was very concerned. He was very concerned that something was quite seriously wrong. So he'd been to the hospital and he'd had some x-rays done by A&E, and he was actually told that absolutely zero was wrong. And so as most professionals would in that situation, you would kind of assume that the job had been done. If an x-ray had been done, they probably would have found whatever the problem might have been. And my practitioner hackles, as it were, sensory kind of went up. And so I was doing this examination with this guy and I was just like, something has been missed here. Something has been missed here. And we were going through the examination and actually we got to the end and I said, look, I apologize and I'm not undermining your doctor, but I feel like the most appropriate thing to do here is re-image this area because I feel like potentially something has been missed. He obviously agreed and we took our own imaging, and it did turn out that there was actually a serious problem there. There was actually a spinal fracture that had been missed in the hospital. So the moral of the story for me wasn't necessarily that they did anything wrong. At the moment, our hospitals are super overrun because everything's trying to get back to a relative normality and actually trying to fit everybody in. And actually the gentleman did say to me, he didn't blame the hospital for the situation because he could see just how ridiculously busy they were. But what had actually happened in his instance, they had x-rayed his spine, but they hadn't x-rayed the area of the complaint. So they missed the actual fracture. And so as a result, obviously, they told him that nothing was wrong and they sent him on his way. And obviously he came to me thinking, oh, it must just be something that's a little bit stuck. I can't cope with this pain. Or maybe I need some massage, or this is a really stuck muscle. But it did turn out that something was seriously wrong and that we did actually then need to refer him back and actually make sure that we get the right medications to stop those fractures from reoccurring. So don't take it as gospel. And I've got another obviously very big moral story in this, which was a very personal experience, which is why I'm so passionate about talking about do not suffer in silence. If you feel that there is a problem there, please go and get it checked. And if someone has told you that nothing is wrong, it doesn't necessarily mean that nothing is wrong. It just means within their scope of practice, that they don't necessarily check and understand those conditions. Doctors, unbelievably good at picking up systemic diseases and pathologies. So stuff like heart disease, cancers, diabetes, infections, things to do with your organs and systems. But when it comes to mechanical joint pain or changes in muscle spasms or neurological conditions, this is not their expert area because a GP is designed to be a triage. So they're designed to get you to the right place. So if you feel like you have not been given the right advice by someone, do not just discontinue with care and disregard it, because there may actually still be something very serious there that you haven't actually had checked by the right professional. And this is the key. It has to be the right person, because if you take your sink to the mechanic is not going to know what to do. In the same sense as if you take your car to the plumber is not going to know what to do unless the plumber has gone to night school to learn how to do mechanics on a car. just a little bit of heavy advice. Like I say, I had a very personal experience with this. My mum had been complaining of indigestion for ages. The doctors, again, in her instance, had missed things, and had she not kept going back, then the bowel cancer would never have been found. So don't suffer in silence. Don't suffer in silence, because this is the thing, is we don't know. And by the way, it may not be as serious as an incident as that, but those two incidences are both incidences to me that prove that if you feel like something is wrong, it is definitely worth screaming and shouting about it. Guys, if you're coming in today, we've got our free posture screening today as well this afternoon, which is going to be super, super fun. So anybody that wanted to jump onto that, you could potentially call the clinic. We may have a few available slots left, but really, realistically, tickets are now closed. So we'll hopefully see you in the clinic. And if not, hopefully we'll see you in the clinic for your appointments very, very soon. Ciao for now.